Look, man, we got to stop making everything about race. And that's what I'm going to talk about because I don't mind coming on here and having conversations about race. I don't mind coming on here and giving you my honest opinions on racial matters. As somebody who speaks on race regularly, somebody who subscribes to some of the concepts in critical race theory, I think it's important to have a nuanced conversation about things that may not be racially driven, okay? Because too often we like to pull out our race card and use it. And sometimes you shouldn't use your race card. You should use your, I don't know, what should we call it? I messed up card, your consequences card. Yeah, we're gonna call it the consequences card. Sometimes the race card isn't the right card for the transaction. Now, if you swipe it, it may go through. Many times it's gone through because, see, here's what happens is the person who is receiving that transaction, all they want is the funds. That's all they want is the funds. So they don't care what account it comes from. They don't care what card it's coming from. They're going to accept those funds. So when you use that race card, they'll take it. But what they don't tell you is they have a limit on how many times they're going to use the race card, because what happens is if you use that race card too many times, those funds may not be there when you need it. And maybe you should have used your accountability card instead of your race card. It's like the old fable. Y'all know Aesop's fable. Y'all read that in school, right? The boy who cried wolf. He kept saying there was a wolf out there after the sheep, and they kept coming out there trying to save the sheep from the wolves. I know some of y'all are wolves in sheep's clothing, but that's a conversation for another day. And then eventually, when the wolf finally got there, nobody was willing to come help. Why? Because the boy done cried wolf so many times, they like, man, he ain't talking about nothing. We ain't worried about him. He just saying something because he got a mouth. And that's what scares me about some of the things that I'm seeing right now in the Black community. I think we're crying race when race isn't the issue. I feel like we're trying to swipe our race card, and maybe we should be trying to swipe our accountability card. I think that we are trying to make everything about race, and sometimes it ain't race. Sometimes it is, hey, here's what we expect from you, here's what we want to do, and you're not doing what we're asking you to do, and you just happen to be Black. That can be a thing. As Black people, we can do things wrong, and somebody who's not Black can call us out for it, and they can be right. I know that sounds crazy because in the world that we live in, we feel like if you don't look like me, you don't think like me, you can't hold me accountable and you can't call me out for the things that I'm doing or that I'm not doing. But that's not true. Honestly, it's not. Like, right is wrong is wrong. And I think that moving forward, we have to be mindful of that. We have to be aware of that. We have to make sure that we don't fall into the trap of saying that only the people that I rock with can call me out. Because guess what? If that's what you're doing, if that's what you're looking for, you're looking to be coddled. You're not looking to grow. And this podcast today is all about growth.